just like this. This is a piece of smoked salmon, and you can tell, really, if you're confused about it, by smelling it. And you can see it has some oil on it. And this is crab lox, and this is wonderful salmon, and this is lox. Now, lox is a little different in that it's cured in brine, and it's very, very good. And, of course, this is canned salmon, and this is canned in water. They didn't used to put salmon in water, and now they do. So you can get these nice little cans of salmon in water. And I want to show you something else that comes from salmon. One of my favorite parts of the salmon. What is it? Salmon caviar. See this? That's what it looks like if you haven't seen it before. And yes, it has cholesterol, but what you want to do with this is use just a little bit, say on Sunday morning breakfast on some substitute eggs that have been scrambled, or how about if you're going to use it just plain? What you do, you don't just give them a lot of caviar. You give them big pieces of toast like this, and you put just a tiny little bit on, like so, not very much, and then you serve lots of other things with it. You can put on a lot of onions, and you can put some capers, and you can put some chopped egg white, and then you drip a little bit of lemon juice on that, and let me tell you, that is some kind of good. And that's the way you can have caviar, so you're just not having just the eggs, which has the higher cholesterol. And the black caviar, of course, is made from sturgeon, and here's a canned variety of that. And you can get different kinds of caviar. Here's another kind over here. The fresh is, of course, the best. Terribly expensive. This is the canned, and it's not very expensive, but it's fun to have anyway. All right, let's go over here and make our first dish. Now, if we want to put an olive oil flavor on this salmon, you see these sizes? This is a beautiful size, about 3.5 ounces. And this is about how much you want per person. You don't need a lot of it, because you're going to have a lot of other food that you serve. You can spray it instead of spraying the pan if you want to, just like so. Or if you don't like, if you want to, let's put it this way, if you want to get your own brand of olive oil that you particularly love, just put it in a spritzer and do it yourself. So this is such an easy recipe. We're going to put some onions in. This is about, maybe a cup, maybe a half a cup of chopped onions, depending how many people that you have. And so these won't burn, I'm going to put a tiny, tiny bit of water in there. Not much. Just enough to keep it liquid. Just like so. All right, and I just want those to kind of sear in the pan a tiny bit. And they will get translucent very quickly because they're so thin. And we'll add to this. This is so simple. You'll love this. We're going to add to this wine, half a cup, and lemon juice or lime juice, half a cup. Easy, 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 easy. And we put our salmon in, and we're just going to lightly poach it. It is absolutely delicious. And I'm going to show you a real quick, very, very, very fast tartar sauce. So easy. Tartar sauce is so simple. Let's say a cup of mayonnaise. This is non-fat. This is a perfect place to use non-fat mayonnaise. We'll use some parsley. That's 2 or 3 tablespoons of parsley. A little bit of pepper, like so. About a tablespoon, not quite that much of pepper. Tiny bit of salt, not much. Just a little bit. And, of course, we have to have dill pickles. 1 big dill pickle and some lemon juice. We'll put this colander up here. And where is my little reamer? There it is over there. And I'll use this reamer and ream these lemons out. Put this in our processor, and we will have the most wonderful tartar sauce. Now, if you wanted to, you could also put in the tartar sauce some hot sauce. Okay? I'll be right back and show you how pretty this is. This is the perfect place to use a processor. And just to add some more tricks with very nicely and getting opaque, you can turn that over if you like. And you could have done this with the skin on it if you wanted to. I took the skin off. We Americans don't eat much salmon skin. Japanese eat it, some Asians eat it, and it's very, very good. I don't think there's anything that I don't like. You know something? I'm fortunate because that makes it very easy for me to eat a very low-fat diet because I like everything. If it's made well, made beautifully, and that smells delicious. And we're going to serve that on. Let me show you what we're going to serve some of these on. This is couscous. It's Moroccan or Middle Eastern, and all it is pasta. It's just little pasta all cut up real tight. And you know what this is? This is spaghetti. Let me do this with a fork so I don't have my fingers in everything. I always have my fingers in everything. Okay, This is little pieces of spaghetti that are cut very small. And if you don't want to bother to break up the spaghetti, you could use orzo. And the reason I'm telling you this is because fish is very good. This is orzo. And it is shaped kind of like rice or melon seeds, and it cooks up very fast, another type of pasta. But if you want to make your spaghetti, oh, by the way, let me show you this. This is a spaghetti, a very thin spaghetti, and if you want to cut it up into little tiny pieces, you can just break it like so. Break it on the edge of the counter if you want. And that's what makes those little tiny strings of spaghetti, and then just cook them all broken up. And they're fun to eat that way because sometimes you want just little tiny pieces of spaghetti. And I just put this in a plastic bag, cracked it all up, and cooked it, and it makes a very nice small spaghetti, little small pieces. You can see what it looks like. It's just kind of interesting, a little bit different. All right, let's bake some salmon, which is lots of fun to do. Take a couple of nice pieces of salmon. This is what it looks like. I want to show you what it looks like when it goes into the oven. Small pieces, spices on it. And you could cover this. This is a baking dish, by the way. If it were just two of you, you could also put it in a micro. And you could cover it in saran or plastic wrap, poke a few holes in it. Or you can cover it in foil and put it in the oven. And what do you put on top of this? Tiny little bit of olive oil. Not much. Nice flavor for salmon. You could use a brush if you wanted to. Yes, I don't have to use my fingers, but you could do it either way. Little bit of olive oil and tiny bit of parsley. And we'll just kind of pat this. This is very, very fine. And I'm keeping my eye on this because I want to take this off at a certain time because I don't want it to overcook. And how do we tell? Let me just look at that and see if that's done. That is done. It's perfect. So I'm going to serve that right now. Here's a nice big set of tongs that I can use. Put this on our beautiful plate here, our nice big charger. And I'll put the salmon on top. It's very nice served this way. There we go. And this is for 3 people. You and your special person in your life and his mother. How's that? All right. Let me get something else here that I can put some of this. Whoa! Let me get another one over here. This is dropping day. Some days you have dropping days. All right, let's put some of this on right here. Okay, and you can see how beautiful this is. And we'll put a couple of curls on here of some beautiful vegetables right around the side. All right, let's finish our dish that we're going to bake. And we will put on some thyme and a little bit of oregano. This is all fresh now. And you can use other herbs too. Use the herbs that you like to use. You could use basil on here if you wanted to, but just chop it up really, really fine. You're going to bake this for about 7 or 8 minutes. Put it in the microwave, maybe only for about 3 minutes. A good salsa? Let me show you one very, very fast. We don't have a lot of time. So simple. It's tomatoes. These are nice plum tomatoes. Maybe some lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons. Tiny bit of vinegar, about a tablespoon. Garlic, always garlic in salsa. Maybe some onions in salsa if you like onions. Here's a nice big red onion, and I'll put that in this salsa. And this processor will mix that up. I probably should cut that in half. Sprig of cilantro, and we'll use some more cilantro to garnish our fish with. That's going to be gorgeous. And when we return, we will have a guest who will make an exquisite salmon. This is Barbara Trop. We haven't made steamed salmon yet. Let's do that with incredible style and taste. Joining me is Barbara Trop. She's the proprietor of the China Moon Cafe in San Francisco and the author of the China Moon Cafe Cookbook. And I thank you for coming, and this gorgeous cookbook won a big award.
It did. Yes. It was very exciting.
Last year, what was it?
The 1992 Best International Julia Child Cookbook Award.
That's
I was thrilled. It was worth every minute of testing those recipes 3 and 4 times.
That's fabulous.
And this is one of my favorites from it. Thank you.
Okay, and you ride bicycles, I know. And
I ride scooters and bicycles and treadmills and anything I can.
Anything that moves, okay. And you're in San Francisco.
We're down in the heart of San Francisco, 3 blocks from Union Square, and you should come visit. It's a fun and casual little place.
Okay, I have a sister there, Annie Taylor, and I have a brother there, Bob Connor, and so we'll all come and see you en masse.
We're going to reserve a table for 3.
I would love
immediately.
I would love it. Now show us what you're going to make here,
We
Barbara.
are starting with a beautifully fresh salmon. You can always tell by the color. And this is a small fillet. You know, one of the glories of Chinese cooking is that it's heavy on vegetables and heavy on rice and very light on protein, which makes it diet-wise just wonderful. And we're going to pour a little bit of soy sauce over it. This is very much a grandmother's type of dish. You like something, you put in a little bit more. You're shy about something, you put in a little bit less. You could also use a low-sodium soy. This is a little bit of sherry. You like a little bit more, you put in a little bit more. Garlic, I hardly ever go anywhere without garlic.
For those that are wondering how much, I've been keeping track. And it's about 2 tablespoons of low-sodium soy and about 1 tablespoon of sherry.
You're absolutely right. 1 clove of garlic, a big fat one if you like garlic.
Now, what are those?
This is Chinese black beans. It's a fermented soybean product.
This is
They're
it right
delicious.
Here.
It's a wonderful way to gain lots of flavor without any fat.
They smell good. They're inexpensive. It looks like it's so expensive, but you said this is
No. It's just
like
a little more than $1 a container.
And you can get these in a Chinese grocery store.
Any Chinese grocery store.
They smell
They're
good.
an antique spice in China. I'm going to put in a couple of paper-thin rings of red Fresno chili, just for a little bit of an infused flavor, and then a drizzle, just a drop or two.
Now, if you can't get red Fresno chili, can I use just another chili?
You can use any kind of chili you want, and you can use no chili. And you can use dried red chili flakes. That's also fine.
And you put in a drop
I
or two
put in a drop or two of toasted sesame oil.
And that's a dark sesame oil.
Exactly. The seeds are toasted before they're pressed, and it's a wonderful way to get great flavor and great aroma with, again, very little oil. I always think it's not a matter of how much oil you use, but the flavor of the oil. So it's like a great perfume. A little dab will do you.
I love it.
And we're going to turn the fish here in the marinade and then just put that aside, and we're going to wok sear a veggie bed for our fish.
What would you like me to do? Anything?
I'm going to have you stand and watch what happens when you drizzle just, again, a tiny amount of oil into a wok, and you can certainly use any skillet that has a stick-free surface, and you want a little bit of smoke, because that means when you're going to add your vegetables, I'm going to put in onion.
Okay, I was going to get some paper towel and run that oil around a little bit.
Won't even need it.
You
We'll let
don't
the vegetables run it for it.
Now tell me the vegetables that you used.
Well, we've used varietal red, yellow, and orange peppers, and we've used yellow onion and some Chinese cabbage. And you can use however many you like, just so long as you have enough room on your plate. And more veggies, the better, in Chinese terms. I'm going to put a sprinkle of a little bit of Szechuan pepper salt on. This is enough for a single portion, and you want to sear them just lightly. That will give some flavor and some nice aroma to your dish.
Now what?
And we are now going to take our wonderful plate with the rim of, cucumbers and daikon.
Yeah, we did here. Look at this. This is daikon, which is?
Daikon is an icicle radish.
Okay.
And daikon is the Japanese name for it. In Chinese, it's called luobo. And that's a little bit awkward for Westerners to say, so we call it by its Japanese name. And again, in Chinese cooking, the more vegetables, the better. These are also unseasoned. It balances off the seasoning in this part of our veggie bed. We're going to slide them now onto the dish.
That's gorgeous.
The law of Chinese cooking is that if it looks colorful on the plate, then it will look colorful on the dish.
And feel colorful in your tummy.
And feel healthful, too. We're going to take our salmon and put it right on top of the veggies.
You put the raw salmon there.
That's right.
Because she has a trick. This isn't sushi.
Not at all. And we're going to spoon some of the marinade on top.
Oh, that's
and also get some of these wonderful black beans.
Okay.
And then, Chinese never cook fish without ginger. We have some finely julienne fresh ginger. Again, the rule is more is best in the ginger department.
Barbara, how'd you get it that thin?
Lots of practicing slicing. Slice thin
Can I use my Juliana, my food processor?
You can, but it would take you much more time. Just 2 or 3 paper-thin slices and then sliver them lengthwise, and you've got a beautiful julienne. And this is entirely the preparation for your dish. And you're simply going to put it into the steamer, and we've already done that.
Yes, show me.
Here is our bamboo steamer. You always handle it with a nice glove or a mitt so that you don't burn yourself. And you see here, we have our beautifully steamed fish.
Do you want another...
take this over and just put this right here.
Okay.
You can see how gorgeous it is. But
Can I?
the heart of Chinese cooking, before you take it, is always the rice. And this is what, again, makes it such a healthful cooking. You have 2 or 3 parts rice to any 1 part of protein.
2 or 3 parts rice.
Absolutely. Chinese
wonderful.
eat unseasoned rice, unsalted rice, and this is why they can use things like soy sauce with impunity. Because for the little bit of soy that you have and the little bit of fish, and here we're going to try to slide this on. Let's get clever about this. We're going to do it this way.
Okay.
So that we have our pretty colorful border on the outside. Oh. It's already doing it itself. I'd have you help, but it's really doing it itself.
Oh, brother, it's beautiful.
And then we're going to gild the lily. And we're going to use a little bit of scallion thread on top of the fish.
Isn't that lovely?
And then what I call a confetti on top of the rice. There are some yellow bells, some orange, some red, and let's also put a couple of scallion diag.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
It is gorgeous.
And you know,
love
it's
it.
also delicious.
Yes, which
and
makes
we've
it wonderful.
accomplished all of this with maybe 1 teaspoon of oil.
And
that's it.
It's just beautiful. I thank you.
You're welcome.
I thank you. That is just gorgeous. What a picture. It's time again, and thank you for letters to Lynn. A viewer writes to say she uses vanilla extract on a regular basis and wants to know about other flavored extracts and their uses. The letter is from Stella Vodenis of Baltimore, Maryland. Stella, I love and keep a variety of extracts in my own kitchen. And here's a few of my favorites. They are so good in so many sauces for fruit, ice creams, other desserts. Of course, when baking cakes or cookies. Now, these little guys, I'll show you what I have. We have this one. This is banana, so you don't want to use a whole banana, and because you don't want the calories or for some other reason, or you run out of them. You have this extract. This is caramel. It's wonderful for certain sauces. This is almond, very good for cookies and angel food cakes. This is vanilla. You know vanilla. I like lots of vanilla in everything. And, of course, black walnut. What if you don't have any black walnuts and you only have regular walnuts, English walnuts, but you wanted to have a black walnut taste? You could use this with your English walnuts. So I hope that helps you, Stella. There are lots more kinds for you to buy, and just keep a few of them around. If you have a question about food and nutrition, write to me, Lynn Fischer, P.O. Box 40404, Washington, D.C. 20016. Let's take a look at the salmon dishes we fixed today. Salmon is perfect for a healthy eating plan, and these are so quick and easy and delicious. I hope you'll try them. Now, made the usual way, baked salmon has 9 grams of saturated fat, 87 mils of cholesterol, and 318 calories. Made my way, just 2 grams of sat fat, 63 mils of cholesterol, and 205 calories. If you fixed sauteed salmon the old way, it too would have 9 grams of sat fat, 88 mils of cholesterol, and 340 calories. But made the new way, 1 gram of sat fat, 78 mils of cholesterol, and 232 calories. And you know that tartar sauce is low. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Lynn Fischer. Eat well and be well.